There's a tragedy that changed the NFL forever. And to really get it, you have to go back to one specific Sunday.
October 24th, 1971. Just picture it, a Sunday at Tiger Stadium in Detroit. It felt completely normal. The air was electric, just like any other game day.
It was the Detroit Lions against the Chicago Bears. Nothing special, right? Just a routine matchup, middle of the season. But this game would go down in history for all the wrong reasons.
See, by the time that final whistle blew, a line was about to be crossed. A line the sport had never, ever seen before.
His name was Chuck Hughes. He was a wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. And what happened to him, well, it would change absolutely everything.
Now you have to understand, Chuck Hughes wasn't some huge superstar. He was just a solid, dependable player. The kind of guy who just put his head down and did his job. And because of that, no one was really watching him that closely. No one saw what was coming. So, here's the scene. It's late in the fourth quarter. The Lions are trying to mount a comeback. They're down by 5. The whole stadium is on its feet, completely electric. Every single second counts.
There's just over a minute left on the clock. The Lions have the ball. And Hughes, he lines up for the play. This is it. An absolutely crucial moment in a super tight game.
So he takes off, he runs his route, he cuts right across the middle of the field, he turns back, looks toward the quarterback, he's expecting the ball, and then he just collapsed. Right there. There was no hit, no contact from anyone. He just fell. And at first, nobody understood what was happening. Players on both teams were just looking around, totally confused. A guy doesn't just fall, right? There has to be a reason. But there wasn't one. But then, across the field, the legendary Bears linebacker Dick Butkus, he saw him. And he was one of the first to realize this was no typical football injury. No, this was something far, far worse. And in that single moment, everything stopped. Butkus started waving his arms frantically, just screaming for the medical staff, "Get on the field." The panic was immediate. It was absolutely real. So trainers rush out to Hughes, and as they did, this hush fell over the entire stadium. Complete silence. The music just cut out. The crowd stopped cheering. Everybody knew something was terribly, terribly wrong. They worked on him right there on the field, before finally carrying him off on a stretcher, and you could just see it. Players from both teams just watching in stunned silence. He never regained consciousness. Later, the autopsy would reveal the horrible truth. He'd suffered a massive heart attack. It was caused by a blockage in his arteries that no one even knew was there. An undiagnosed condition. He was only 28 years old. Just gone.
But here's the part of the story it's almost impossible to believe. The part that you really don't hear about today.
The game continued. Yeah, after a short delay, the officials ordered them to keep playing. The players had to go back on the field. The fans stayed in their seats. The game just went on. The Chicago Bears won the game, 28-23. But honestly, who cared? On a day when a man died right there in front of 50,000 people, the score meant absolutely nothing. Football wasn't just a game anymore. But here's the thing. His death, it wouldn't be in vain. In fact, this one single tragedy would go on to have this profound, lasting impact on the entire sport. Think about this. To this very day, Chuck Hughes is the only player in NFL history to die on the field during a game. And his death, it became this brutal, unavoidable wake-up call, a catalyst for massive change. The league had no choice. They were forced to completely overhaul how they thought about player safety. All the things we just take for granted now, having paramedics and an ambulance at every single game, the advanced heart screenings for all the players, those detailed emergency plans every team has to have, all of it was put in place because of what happened to Chuck Hughes. It really makes you stop and think, doesn't it, about the real cost of this sport. Just one ordinary play, one moment, that became a permanent, tragic part of NFL history. And it's such a powerful reminder, isn't it? That even when you're on the biggest stage, surrounded by thousands and thousands of people, even for the most elite athletes in the world, life can just end in seconds.